Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre.
And the last time we spoke to today's guests, which was back in 2020, I think it was, we were in the throes of a pandemic. And although the Isle of Man was lucky to be relatively open as it stood in the rest of the British Isles, we were still holding, for instance, dance competitions and various events over here. Ballroom team captains, Lulabelle Finley and Evan O'Day, who were then just 10 and 11 years old, were having to compete in British competitions online. Of course, everything's open again now, and Evan and Lula, now 14, have continued to compete with great success. We'll find out more about that in just a moment. But first, they're sitting opposite me. Evan and Lula, just put your headphones on for a second. I want to play you something, and you're probably going to be able to guess what this is, to be honest, because I did just mention, that you were with us a little while ago. I just want to play you a little clip of what you two sounded like back then and what you said, because it's such a lovely thing. Okay, so listen into this.
I started going to lessons with my older sister when I was 2.
And which school are you with? Which dance school?
Jane Hill.
Lovely. And what about you, Evan? When did you start?
I started around about when I was 2 or 3.
Wow. Can you do very much when you're 2 or 3? How much do you sort of get involved? Because you're quite little, aren't you?
I was a bit like wild, so my mum and dad just thought that I'm a bit energetic, so I could do dancing.
Get some of that energy off.
Yeah. Speaking of your parents as well, they played a part in you two becoming dance partners, didn't they? Tell us about that, Evan.
Well, when our mums were pregnant, they said if yours was a boy, if my baby was a girl, then you could both be a partner for dancing.
Oh, that's brilliant. So even before they were born, they were hooked up as dance partners. And has it worked for you? How do you two do in competition then?
We do well. We win quite a lot, and then in Blackpool we won the under 10 like 3 times, I think.
I think they both really hate me now for playing that out. But Lula and Evan, welcome back to the studio. You're a little bit older now, but you have continued competing since 2020. There was talk of Blackpool there. You've been back in Blackpool and you've been doing very, very well. Lula, back then you said you won sort of 3 times over there. How have you been doing since then?
We've been doing quite well. We've won the British Championship 2 times now, the classical sequence and the modern sequence. And we've won a lot of other UK championships as well, including 3 counties and North of Britain. That is incredible. I mean, Evan, when you think and you're listening back to yourself then, little Evan, could you ever have thought that you'd be doing this well? Did you think this was going to be like back then? Did you think this is going to be what I'm going to do for like the next however many years and I'm going to carry on competing? Was that always what you wanted?
I never thought I was that good when I was younger, to be honest, yeah. But it's just like a big change from now, yeah. Just
explain the type of dancing that you do.
It's very old-fashioned, I would say. Not very modern, but it is fun. And there's slow dancers, there's quick dancers, jumpy dancers.
And we're with Jackie Hamlet as well, who's back with us once more from the Isle of Man Dance Teachers Association. Jackie, you were in the studio with us back then when we were chatting to these two in 2020. And actually you presented them with an award live in the studio. It was an online award, which I'm sure you remember very well. But it must be so lovely to actually have them back out again now in real dance environments and doing so well.
Well, that's right. I mean, one of the main things about the dancing is the support. And I'm sure Evan and Lulabelle will bear me out here that the support that they get when they are travelling around the country. I mean, Team Isle of Man are probably one of the noisiest teams at Blackpool. They did ever so well on the online competitions, as did all our local competitors. But having that support there when you're dancing is just vital. It just lifts you in that final moment.
So who goes with you then, Lula? Who's there to support you when you do go away?
Well, obviously our parents are there and some of the teachers, but then other people from our dance school. So we have Emily and Joseph, who also won a championship in juvenile at the same competition in April. And some younger ones as well who are very supportive. They just shout for you when you dance past. It's really nice.
And then also, I know last time you were here, your dance teacher was Jane Hill. Is that still the case, Evan?
Yeah. She's still our teacher, yeah.
And does she go with you too?
Yeah, most of the time. Mostly, yeah, she will go.
Yeah, and I think actually, Jackie, she's been doing very well herself, hasn't she?
Absolutely. Just this Saturday gone, Jane won an award at I suppose you'd call it the Oscars for ballroom dancing. It's called the Classique de Danse Awards. Jane was awarded the Teachers Award there for classical sequence, which is an amazing achievement given all the teachers across the country. For the Isle of Man teachers to be recognised in that way is really very special. Evan and Lullabelle also won the Junior Award on that night, representing Jane's school, and Amelie Jackson and Joseph Delaney won the Juvenile Award, representing Jane Hill's School of Dancing. So, you know.
Wow, this is incredible. I mean, the achievements. I mean, Lula, how much time do you put into this?
Well, before competition we might have some extra lessons, but usually we have a group lesson on a Wednesday, and then on Saturday we have our own like private lesson where it's just me and Evan and Jane. But if we do have an important competition coming up, we'll have like some extra lessons.
And I mean, my only real kind of knowledge of this is, as with most people, I think probably Strictly, and you see them when they are prepping, and it is intense, isn't it? I mean, when you see them, do you think that's a bit much? Because they have to learn so much in such a short space of time. I mean, Evan, what do you think about those guys who've never done this before, who are just celebrities and have to learn these dances? Is it as hard as it looks, do you think?
Yeah, it must be like really hard. Like you're talking about on Strictly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Like just like newly doing it and being taught by like someone is like just hard. Like especially when I was younger, it was like my mum took a while for me to like get used to dancing. Yeah.
And they've got like hours essentially, haven't they, to learn a new dance, which is incredible. Speaking of Strictly, Lulu, you had a bit of a brush with Strictly recently, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we've met a couple of Strictly people. Vito, he was the one awarded the Classique de Danse Award at the weekend. And last year at the Classique de Danse, we had Ali Ash, who was doing it. And in April, when we won the championships, we were on TV with Amy Dowden dancing when she was interviewing some people.
That's incredible. And again, Jackie, this is all just promoting the island's dance talent over here, which is kind of extraordinary, isn't it?
It is. We've got some really, really talented couples on the island at the moment. Of course, there's schools right across the island. We've heard of Jane's, but we've got other schools in Onchan, Douglas, Ramsey, Port Erin, Castletown, Peel and the West. There's full island coverage for ballroom dancing if anybody's interested.
And as we heard from that little clip of you two when you were here last time, I mean, you can start very young. You guys, were you like 2 or something when you started? So what would you say is kind of like the optimum entry level, Jackie?
I'd say, well, we've got 3 and 4 year olds dancing at the moment now. We run under 6 competitions. So 3 and 4 is a good age to get started.
Yeah, and if you're trying to encourage young people to get involved, what would you say is the best thing about it, Lula, and why should kids think about getting involved in dancing?
Just the support and all the friends that you can make along the way, because it is really fun, all the travelling to different competitions, and the atmosphere is just really nice.
I'm guessing as well, Evan, it's probably pretty good for fitness, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I play other sports as well. It helps with that a lot. Like it just like mixes in like the fitness and stuff. Yeah.
Do you have to be very careful not to play sports where you might get injuries in case you're competing?
Well, my mum tends to tell me to like not play other sports, but just do it anyway. Yeah.
Oh, he's a rebel. He's such a rebel. Well, listen, you've brought something with you, haven't you, Evan? What have you got?
It's a trophy, and it's from. Was this last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year's British champion trophy, and then we also got the award we won this weekend.
And tell us about that.
Yeah, the Classique Award.
That's amazing. So just this weekend, you literally just got this weekend.
Yeah.
That huge trophy, though, just tell us how that turned up, Lula, because you didn't just carry the trophy in as it is, did you?
No, it comes in a box with a key that you have to open it, and then every year you have to bring it back and you have to return it.
So there's some of the names on there. It's been inscribed for many, many years. Do you recognise some of the names on there of some of the other winners? Is it people that you know?
Yeah, my cousin's on there. Scott. Yeah, he's on there.
So there's other Manxies.
Yeah.
Well, it was Scott and Claudia that were here at the station with when they just won the same trophy.
Oh, you see, it all links together. This is fantastic stuff. Well, thank you so much for being with us. It really is good to see you. And you were saying, Jackie, I mean, you've just listed a whole number of people who've won that are from the Isle of Man. I mean, I'm guessing it must be so good for you to see that, you know, the interest in dance is still strong with young people like Lulabelle and Evan doing so well.
Absolutely. I mean, Strictly has given it that sort of more vocal, people can sort of put two and two together now. They watch Strictly and they know what it's about a bit more. But luckily, the ballroom dancing is still pretty strong on the Isle of Man. We're doing very well. We've got a whole winter of competitions coming up. Our first one is on the 29th of September at the Royal Hall in the Villa Marina, and that's the start of our winter programme. That's our charity event. We always start the year off with a charity event, and this year we're raising money for the St John's Ambulance Brigade, who also support us at our competitions. So that's our first one. So if anybody wants to come along, it's on the Sunday the 29th. It'll start at 12 noon, and we'd be pleased to welcome you along.
And what is next for you two, Lula and Evan? Where do you go from here?
Well, we like to focus on the next competition that's coming up. Our next one away is in Blackpool in October. We won that last year. We want to regain the title this year. That's what we're hoping to do.
Is it crazy competitive, Evan?
Yeah, 100%. There's like loads of people from different places in the UK competing, so yeah, very competitive.
Well, will you keep us posted and let us know how you get on? I've got every faith in you because, you know, you win everything pretty much, don't you? And it's lovely to have you back with us. Thank you so much. I think, the dance is strong in this pair, isn't it, Jackie? It certainly is.
Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre. Pick up your new all-season loyalty card in-store today and start collecting reward points.